CFR 100.5 FM. You're listening to Talk Recovery, and it is that time for personal stories. So if you've been tuning in, waiting to hear Elya's story, she's your friend, confidant, you've known her, then welcome to the show. Yes, like I said, we're here talking with Elya, woman, mother, partner, person in recovery. What else am I missing here?
Holistic nutritionist in training.
There we go.
Yeah. You basically covered it.
Okay. So now that we've got your intro, to give us a little background, when did you come into recovery? What did it look like at that time for you?
Okay. When I came into recovery, I was a young single mom. My son was 2 years old at the time. I had met a person who is now my fiance in the rooms, and he introduced me to a 12-step fellowship. And when I came in, I was broken, beaten, depleted of everything that I needed, mind, body, spirit, and something opened up in me when I came into the rooms and gave me the ability to look at myself as a mother and be there for my kid and support my kid. And when I came in, it was very hard for me to get to know women. I didn't go through a treatment center. I didn't know a lot of women. It was very difficult for me to make relationships. I had a lot of trust issues and everything like that. I didn't know a lot of moms in the rooms. And I basically just threw myself into the middle of it and started making connections and started finding that in the rooms.
So that whole "where do I fit" sort of feeling
Absolutely.
that resonates with me and most of newcomer stories.
Yes.
So you came in with your son was 2 at the time?
Yes.
What was that like? Was the dad in the picture?
Nope, he was not in the picture. I had basically said to him, he was quite emotionally abusive, and I just said, he would often say, "Have a nice life with your son," and I'd be like, all right. Finally, I got to a place where I was like, I need to do me, and I need to take care of my son, and that's what I did.
Okay.
I took him on. And
the reason that I'm asking is what, I mean, there's always conflict in the relationship. Now we're dealing with, a little toddler.
Mm-hmm.
What is a woman supposed to do? I'm sure there's a conflict of, not, taking the child away from dad and sort of just, starting new. Was that a conflict for you in the beginning?
It wasn't. He didn't want to be a part of his life.
There you go.
So I did what I had to do, and my mama bear came out for the first time, and I was like, yeah, I'm taking this kid on, and I'm going to do it with power and, do what I need to do. I mean, he's the reason that I got clean in the first place.
Wow.
He saved my life.
Wow. Single mom doing it all, and then adding the getting clean part.
Right.
To the situation.
It was very difficult. It was really difficult. I felt very alone at a lot of times. I didn't find that there was a lot of groups or information out there for mothers in recovery. And times are starting to change. No
doubt. And so as times are starting to change, you are a visionary for some of this change. It seems. Tell us a little bit about Mothers in Recovery.
It's now Mothers Recovery Tribe.
Okay.
It is a vision that I've had for quite some time, and implemented that vision back in October. I hit a place, around 4 or 5 years clean, where I still felt really alone. I still felt like I needed to make more connections with mom, because being in recovery is hard enough, never mind being a mother and having to take care of little ones and do meetings and, and balance all of that somehow. So I wanted to create a safe space where we could build a tribe of women and really come together and empower each other and inspire each other and lift each other up and really support each other in our hopes, dreams, goals, and really fulfill our meaning of life and be there for each other.
So what's the group size right now?
There's almost 400 members.
No kidding.
Yeah. Just recently, we're getting in some more bloggers and other sober moms and different movements and stuff. We're really trying to make those connections and network with other women all across, Canada and the US. And we're really hoping to make this a big thing, because mothers need support, and they need to know that they're heard and that they're supported and that they're safe.
Yeah. So is this something, within the identified program of recovery that you're in? Can anyone join?
Absolutely. I really believe that there are many pathways to recovery. I am also training to be a holistic nutritionist, so it's given me a whole other aspect of healing, mind, body, and spirit. So I really feel like if we bring all those aspects into it and embrace everybody on every pathway, it really keeps that open-mindedness of people feeling welcome and feeling safe and feeling a part of.
So, I mean, from just going off from my own experience, it took a while before I felt like I'm recovering or recovered. Like for a long time, I just felt like a broken individual in a room of well people, and
Yes.
do you remember when it changed for you? Like, did anything happen where, a shift, anything specific that you could tell us about?
I think specifically for me, my journey in recovery has really been getting to know myself again. And that's what writing the steps have been, and going to meetings and hooking in with other women who have been through the same things or just have the same feelings around things. And for me, it was like I hit a point around 3 or 4 years clean where I was still feeling this void. I was really sick. I was tired all the time. I had a lot of physical issues. And my journey to now attending school has kind of started creating this identity for myself again, and I think we lose that in addiction. We forget who we are and what our purpose is and what we are capable of. And that's what really shifted for me, was really pursuing those hopes, dreams, and goals, and having women surrounding me that were rooting for me and saying, yes, you can do this. Because I think finding an identity in the rooms and really pursuing those hopes, dreams, and goals is a really big part of how we heal and how we recover.
Right, beyond just being a recovering addict.
That's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, typical story, sickness, little unhealth, coming about, and now you're into holistic nutrition. Is that sort of what the switch was? I mean,
yes, absolutely.
And
yes.
So, I mean, this is sort of a big part of there's only so much, a program of recovery can do. And then there's, how do we get in touch with religion if that's an issue, or, parent groups, all of these outside,
Resources.
Situations.
Yeah.
Right. How many people do you think have been helped, in the way that you've approached the nutritional aspect? I mean, is this, because it's a pretty specific, I imagine there's women dealing with weight and situations like this.
Yeah, I've had many people come to me and they're like, I'm have this amount of clean time or whatever, and I'm still feeling this kind of stuck, or I'm dealing with this issue, or after having kids they're having hormone issues or imbalances, and we come in depleted. We come in depleted of our health, of our mind and body. And it's, for me, what I learn in school is connecting those dots. And people come to me and they want a new level of healing. They just physically, they want to feel better, because we do the mind part and we work on our inner self and all of that, but we forget about the physical part, I think. And that's, for me, that was part of my story.
Right. Yeah, you don't often hear anybody suggest, do the steps if you're feeling lethargic or lack of energy. I mean, sometimes you need to go see a professional and find out whether or not there's
the physiological imbalance, right?
The depletion that's happening.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So that's interesting to learn about.
Yeah.
I'm sure also knowing that it's brought some solution to yourself.
Yeah.
Let's talk about kids. Let's talk about what it's like for, for people to come into the program with children, or even after having gotten clean, having children. I've since had a child while I was in addiction and then out of addiction. So I got both experiences going on, right? Where I completely messed up the first one
Yeah.
Right? And just totally, loving the opportunity the second time around. But I know there's a lot of concern with parents, especially those of us in recovery, where it's like, oh, how do I ensure that my child doesn't become like me? Which is such a self,
question.
it's a negative statement though, isn't it? Like, well, what's wrong with you? I mean,
right.
is that what you're saying? Obviously people are talking about, how do I avoid my child becoming an addict?
Yes.
Right? And getting involved like that. Any insight into that?
I think that as we work on ourselves and get well, we have that ability to have that ripple on our kids. I think that as parents, we're constantly going to have those questions of, are we doing enough? Are we enough? Are we loving enough? Are we putting them enough, are enough, right? And I think that as long as we keep going towards what helps us heal, and we're there to show up in the lives of our children, or at least, be a part of it and be open to new things and learning. I don't know, this whole fear, I think it's just a overall parental thing. Like, we're always living in fear. Once you become a parent, that guilt and fear never subsides. So
right,
it's
like
this impending
don't let your
doom
kids swim at the beach because you might get eaten by a shark. I mean,
Right?
come on, go enjoy the beach.
Don't eat dirt, it's bad. No, it's good for you, eat the dirt.
But you know what, like, we have the deepest insight into ourselves
Absolutely.
as people in recovery with kids, and I think, really, if I was to think of my parents, neither one of them were addicts, so they had a natural sense of ignorance to signs, symptoms, what I was doing. They believed me, right, when I said I wasn't doing anything, right, which isn't on them. Exactly. And so, I always say, if there's people recovering addicts that have that concern, it's like, but you have the most experience and insight into this issue.
That's right. I look at that as a blessing.
Yeah.
I honestly, being in recovery, I think it really does open up our minds to a whole other outlook on parenting, because we've been through that. Like, you want to tell me about whatever you're doing. I don't have teenagers yet, but it's like, oh yeah, I've been there, and I think that every day I look at it as, I would rather be a recovering addict and be grateful for that and be able to give that insight to my children.
Right on.
Because I really do feel like this is a blessing for us. We get a second chance.
What has been the greatest gift?
The greatest gift is getting to know myself again. Freedom of the pain and the suffering. Yeah. It's been, I'm 31 now. It's taken, 30 or 25 years.
Yeah. So there's some direction.
Yeah.
The ability to make it.
Absolutely.
Choices,
There's hope.
do whatever you want.
Hope, freedom, all those things, right?
Remember when you said that as a kid? I just want to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And it was a bad thing.
Right.
Now it's just,
everyone's like, yeah, go for it.
yeah, I want to do whatever I want.
That's right.
But my choices and my decision making had to sort of get tweaked.
It
a
has
little bit,
to shift. That's right. Absolutely. And we still need help. We still need the support.
No doubt. Anything you'd like to say to anyone listening that might be struggling out there, or going through some of those, familiar struggles that you've gone through?
I think that, specifically for moms and for women in recovery, if you're coming in and you are lost and you don't even know where to begin, just be and just show up and make connections. Connections are what bring happiness into our life. That's what helps us heal. We can't do this alone. Find something that works for you and do it. If you are looking for support, come check out the Mothers in Recovery Tribe. It is so amazing. We've got women posting all the time, but just...
How do they become members of that tribe?
You can go to the Facebook link and just join the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've been talking to Elyas. She's a mom in recovery. Thank you very much for being on our show.
Thank
that
you
was
for
a
having
very
me.
inspirational story. Thank you very much. And I know your kids, and they're beautiful children. And we are excited that you had an opportunity to be on our show. And to all our Facebook Live people that are watching us, thank you very much. Share Elyas' story of hope, because moms do recover. And we said something in the car, and Elya had said that, you know, her kids help keep her clean. And then we had a quick chat and saying, yeah, but there's a lot of people out there with kids that are still using. So it's one of those things that's like, you know, we need to find recovery within our own hearts and our own courage to do it. And so we can be there for our kids and celebrate recovery. Some of the ways you can celebrate recovery this year is you can help us out. We have a GoFundMe.com/Connection Project 2017. Ely is a big volunteer for a lot of those events, and it's recovery events that go on throughout the summer. They cost a lot of money. And this year we're hoping to make a big splash. The overdose crisis is seeing more people die this year than ever. And so hopefully together we can share the message of recovery, that there is hope, and we can celebrate recovery and live just for today clean. So check that out on you can look at our Facebook page for that. And we need lots of help. Recovery Day BC is coming up. This year's theme is going to be family, and we're going to have a circus at Recovery Day BC this year. So let everybody know. That's hot news. You're the first ones to hear that. And so there'll be a circus. That's on September 9th. A Clean, Sober, and Proud is going to be on August the 6th with an awesome Intoxicated Street Festival at Davie and Butte. And we need your help there, so come check it out. Darren's going to close us off. Check you out next Thursday. Thanks for joining us on Talk Recovery.
All of those events when the summer finally gets here. Can't wait. Should be fun. Hey, happy Mother's Day to everyone out there listening. And
Oh, yeah.
you know, we missed it. Our show didn't fall anywhere
No,
near
it
it.
didn't.
So
No.
that was just a passing weekend. Anyways, we're going to close the show. Like I said, it was an all-current swell new album tribute today from the new album When to Talk and When to Listen. This is Use Me Like You Do.